Yo, what it do? It was cracking. It's your boy Ellis, the host of the Homies Podcast. And once again, we are back with another dope ass episode, man. And if you haven't, please go hit that subscribe button one time for your boy. It'll be much, much appreciated. And for everybody that has already, you know your boy loves you for that, man. Thank you. So, this week, I have a very, very special guest. And a very brave guest, I should say. I've been wanting to do this debate with people for God knows how long, and he was like, bruh, I want all the smoke. And I wanted to do it with this man because we have a long history. We go back. We both played ball at Arizona Western College. That's where we met at. I played football. He played basketball. And the man was nice with it. Super nice with it. Even people in the NBA, like my homie Ben Simmons, you need to go holla at Zoe one time to go get that jumper right, because this man was a three-point specialist. Get your confidence up. My homie, y'all homie, shout out to my homie Alonzo. What up with you, big dog? Hey!
What's good?
How you
Thanks
doing?
so much for having me.
Oh shit! Thank you for coming on, man. You know I appreciate that, bro. Like I've been trying to do this for a minute. I remember back in a couple years ago, me, you, and Dudley did a little segment like this. But it wasn't about this topic. So as y'all can tell with what he's wearing and what I'm wearing, I'm rocking the Jordan. He's rocking the LeBron. You feel me? So y'all know what debate we about to have, man. We about to have this Go Talk debate, man. So, first of all, man, can you give the people a little bit of your background? Because some people like Nick Wright, they're like, Jody, what do you know about basketball? You don't know shit. He didn't. Can you give the people a little bit of your background and what you did and where you played at?
Yeah. Born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada. As you mentioned earlier, we played at Arizona Western. I played hoops there for 2 years. And once I graduated, I transferred up to Florida State, little D1 hoops, and finished out my college career there. And then since then, been working at Nike for the last 12 years. But I still hoop on a daily basis.
Okay.
And I'm still ready to chop it up, man. I'm a numbers guy, and I'm a facts guy.
You're going to hit me with the analytics and everything. Okay, all right.
Go.
And I'm ready for it, bro. So we just gonna get into it, man. So the first question I got to ask, just to start this off, what is your overall take on why you think LeBron is the GOAT? Because I personally think the shit is crazy. So what do you think? What is like the main take on why he's the GOAT?
I would have to say the main take is just like the longevity of dominance individually. 20 years in the league. He came in as an 18-year-old and was already pretty much an all-star. And, he's got 19 all-star appearances now, about to be 20, or 20 actually with this year.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild. About to get his 19th All-NBA, which is insane considering, like,
it's crazy.
Most people's GOAT only has 11 of them. Nah, man, but, like, also, like, there's, like, this clutch misconception about LeBron. Like, he's had a couple moments, but he's the most clutch player in the NBA, man, ever, bro. Like,
and is that from a numbers standpoint, or is that from an actual game time decisions that we see?
Yeah. So I looked up. I did last 5 seconds of a game to tie or take the lead. I did last minute, and then I did last 5 minutes.
Gotcha.
In any overtime, fourth quarter situation, and LeBron's percentages are higher than everyone else's favorite player's favorite player. In the upper 40s, the dude just gets it done. And he doesn't always have to take the shot. And, like, sometimes I feel like he gets a bad rap about that. But, like, there's other legendary players where they don't take the last shot.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, man, like, he should have had the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year deal back in 2012 with the
Marc Gasol one.
Yeah, man. Marc Gasol was in the first team.
Yeah, that was trash. Yeah. I'll give you that. That was trash.
And then it's like, there's people say that they're not afraid of this dude, but like, there's a level of fear, man. You got KD joining the 73-win Warriors to try and take this man out. Like,
okay, and to those points, I'm gonna go back to some of those points.
Yeah,
I feel like Mario Chalmers is the one that said that comment about nobody being scared of him, and this man is also a teammate of LeBron, which multiple teammates, Ray Allen, Mario Chalmers, multiple teammates, even Dwayne Wade himself have came out and said, no, like, he's not the GOAT. These other players, Jordan is their GOAT. Like you said, Jordan does not have as many All-NBA, but Jordan didn't play as long. And I feel like people give LeBron, which is good, like they give him the longevity thing, which that is definitely a part of his greatness. And I also got to start by saying, I don't hate LeBron, people. I know y'all all think like, man, this guy hates LeBron. Actually, I fuck with LeBron. I'm a basketball fan. I love basketball, and there's no one player I like more than the game. Not Kobe, not Jordan. I love basketball. I think LeBron is one of the best players of all time. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. You don't even have to vote. I feel like anybody that votes against him, they're definitely a hater. But like you just said, Clutch, he's had a lot of letdowns to where the numbers say, yeah, he's top, but there's not one NBA player that actually plays the game that I think would agree with that. I think if you ask right now for your life, you got Jordan, Kobe, or LeBron to take the last shot or make the last decision, I'm taking Kobe or Jordan over LeBron. LeBron has made a lot of bad decisions in clutch moments. He does and he has a lot of deficiencies in his game at the end of the game, which stops him from doing certain things, like getting to the basket. He doesn't want to get to the basket and get fouled possibly because you're only like a 70-something% free throw shooter throughout your career, which is trash. And as we just seen I'm sure you watched the NCAA tournament, as you've seen with other finals, free throws make a huge difference.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And I'm like, and also the letdowns he's had, we've never seen Jordan have these letdowns. Like 2011, can we ever name a time where Jordan had a letdown like that?
No. So that's obviously like the biggest like black mark on his career. And I feel like
Huge.
A lot of the like anti-clutch stuff all stems from that one season because everything since then, he's done the complete opposite. Like in terms of active players, you can ask anyone on those Raptors teams when he eliminated them on game-winning shots from the playoffs multiple times if they think he's clutch or not. Like
no superstars though.
I mean, they have DeRozan.
DeRozan's not a superstar.
He's not a superstar, but he's an all-star.
He's an all-star. Yeah, there's a lot of players that are all-star. Kyle Lowry was an all-star.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure.
You know what I mean? But it's like, are you up there? Like no. Like, would DeMar DeRozan be a Hall of Famer?
He should be. I mean, I think he's got about 10 All-Stars. I feel like that's getting you. I mean, if Tony Kukoc got in.
And he got in based on, just like Paul Gasol just got in off of rings these other players. Even Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen, without winning the rings with Jordan, you're not a Hall of Famer, bro.
Scottie Pippen is a Hall of Famer, man. That's crazy.
You take the rings away from Jordan and take the rings away from Scottie and just go off of his individual awards and individual stats. He's not a Hall of Famer, bro. He's not a Hall of Famer.
I don't know, man. He was. I mean, I guess you could say that about a lot of players, though. Unless you're like like a top tier 1A superstar. If you don't have any of the team accolades, you can say like, yeah, what value did you actually bring the team if you're not getting dubs?
Yeah.
But
and it's and in the 2011, the one reason why I give him so much flack for that, not because he played bad, is that he played scary.
Yeah.
If you out there just missing shots, everybody missing shots. You know what I mean? There's some games where you get it going and the basket looks a mile wide, and then there's some games where just the lid's on the basket, bro. It's just the thing just ain't falling. And it was just I don't want it. The spotlight's too big. Get here, you take it.
He definitely had that moment, and that's like a big black mark on him. But that was 12 years ago. There's been other.
That was him in his prime.
Yeah.
Not only was he in your prime, you had the best team by far in the NBA.
I think so too.
Yeah.
First year they were together. They followed it up with a couple rings right after, but that's definitely a huge black mark on his career for sure.
Yeah, 17 points.
Yeah,
you average 17. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. And the person they were calling old and washed up, Dwayne Wade averaged 28 in that series.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it's like, and that to me is one of the biggest separators. We've never seen Jordan lay down like that. We've never seen Jordan be scary of any moment. We've never seen Jordan have that major letdown. Jordan's never even played a game 7. And that's even when people say, like you said earlier, going back to what you said about the dominance part. I don't think LeBron has dominated the way people say that he has. You're a really good player and you played great. But dominated, I think, is an over-exaggerated word. It's like, to me, dominates means you won and nobody else was even in the ballpark. Like I feel like Jordan did in the 90s. 3-peating twice in 1 decade, that's dominant. Show me a year that LeBron had that was good as Jordan's 88 season.
So it depends on what you're referring to when you're talking about dominance. Are you talking about team dominance or individual dominance?
Both.
Both. So yeah, Jordan had some dominating years individually, but the team didn't get there. Once he was able to combine the roster, the coach, the team aspect of it, then that's when they were running through everyone in the 90s. My thing with LeBron is whether he's had the team or not, he's displayed that he's the best player for a decade plus, almost 2.
And it's like
that's kind of where I'm coming from. Like in 07, I'm thinking about 07, bringing that team that had no one. There's not anyone in NBA history, I think, is bringing that team to the finals. Not anyone.
And also that I don't believe in that. Like 2007, he had a trash squad. Let's be clear. He had a trash squad. You're 100%. But it's like, first of all, you're taking advantage of a very weak conference. Who did he have to go against to get to the finals that year?
I mean, they had to beat the Pistons, who were just coming off the championship, and they
3 years ago. That was 3 years. They didn't have the same roster.
They had the same 4 core members, and they were still the number 1 team in the conference. So they were still really good.
And I will give you that. That is the best I think I've ever seen LeBron. When people point back and all the 3-1 comeback, the Pistons, when he scored the last 25
yeah.
I was like, that's why I talk so much shit about this man, because I'm like, do that. I want that LeBron all the time, unless a team makes you do something else. We obviously were blitzing you, sending doubles. You got to give it up. I understand that.
Yeah.
But that one-on-one, like, kill these dudes, bro. It's like, if you're him, I want you to kill these dudes. And he's like, no, Kyrie, you go. No, Anthony Davis, you go. Dwayne Wade, you go. And then, and I'm like, yeah, that 2007 squad, I'm like, okay, what about Kobe's 2008? Like, yeah, you have Pau Gasol, but it's like, Kobe's gotten trash squads to the finals and won. And he beat a team that was really good. 3-4 Hall of Famers.
Yeah. He has another superstar by his side, though. Like, that's the
superstar? Who?
How? Come on, bro. You don't think Powell was
Powell's
a
a
superstar in those
superstar.
Lakers years?
18-10 is his best years with us, and that's superstar to you,
bro. That's when you got Kobe shooting 40% of the shots, averaging 18-10, bro. Like that means you're eating, bro.
People
efficient.
call Kevin Love chopped liver, and he averaged that as a third option.
What, 18-10?
Yeah, around there, like close to those numbers. And people are like, oh, Kevin Love is like, I was like, Kevin Love, if he's a Hall of Famer. If Pau Gasol is a Hall of Famer, Kevin Love's a Hall of Famer. And Kevin Love, to me, is way better than Pau Gasol.
Yeah, Kevin Love, when he had his own squad, he was
26-13.
Yeah, he was putting up some. They weren't winning nothing though. Then that
trash.
was
Yeah, they were trash.
So.
They were garbage. Like, somebody got to get the buckets. It's like, so I'm like that. And even the years that people say he was the most dominant, it's like 2000 to 2010. That's Kobe's era. Kobe reigned 2000 to 2010.
I mean, like Shaq was the best player the first few years of that.
But look at
2010, right?
Oh, okay. Look at Kobe's numbers on that playoff run against Philly. He averaged more. But playoffs, he averaged more than Shaq. He averaged more than Shaq.
Anyone that's saying, man, who got Finals MVP all 3 years?
Yeah. But without Kobe,
I'm not
going to the finals.
I'm not knocking Kobe, but I can't say it's Kobe's era when Shaq got
Kobe gets shit on. Finals. And Kobe also had defensive assignments Shaq never had. He wasn't running around guarding AI. He wasn't running around guarding Reggie Miller. You weren't running around guarding that last one when they played the Nets. That was just I didn't even really watch that, bro. After the second game, I was like, man, this shit is over.
It's over. Yeah,
they ain't got no answer.
They were just outmanned, outgunned, out everything.
And I'm like, when people say that he's dominant, I'm like, and then 2000, I would say 2010 to 2020 is LeBron's peak. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say yeah. I would say in 2007, that was when he became the best player in the league. Like, even though Kobe got 2 championships after that, like, that,
bro,
that was when he was like, all right, I got this.
It's like crazy. We're supposed to be talking about Jordan, and I'll talk about Kobe. I'm like, 2007, I'm like, that's so disrespectful to Kobe. Kobe was in a harder conference, didn't have nearly as much help. Went to 3 championships, won 2, and even have you watched the Redeem Team documentary?
I actually haven't yet. I need to check that out.
You should watch it, bro. Watch what every player, including Coach K, including LeBron. There's an interview with LeBron, 2008, where they asked him, "Who's the best player in the NBA?" And LeBron says, "Kobe Bryant."
Better than you.
I would have to say right now. He's a really, really good player. Individually, he has some of the best skills that the NBA has ever seen in history. And he's shown year after year after year why he continues to be one of the best players in our league. I'm getting better, though.
And the report, even though it's like, are you sure? And he was like, yes. It's defensively, and that's why people say LeBron's the best all-around player. No, he's not. No, he's not. Where?
I mean, he's.
I think he has
6-time first-team All-Defense. Like he should have had a Defensive Player of the Year. I know Kobe has more. Yeah.
Jordan is a better all-around player than LeBron. First of all, I'll say this: only reason people give him that moniker is because of his passing ability. And me and you both know, right? If you're a big dude, you get more. If you're big and you're a superstar, you get more props than the average person for passing. Do you agree? Like how Jokic, how he gets.
Well, he's a center though. That's why it's insane.
LeBron's 6'9", 6'10". He's damn near a center himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, but it's like what you average 7 assists. Jordan averaged 5, 6. You know what I mean?
LeBron's led the league in assists before, and like, it's a huge. Like, he's basically positionless. Like, he's listed as a small forward, but he essentially ran point guard throughout his entire career. Like, he has the ball in his hands. The offense runs through him. He brings it up the court.
That's why I'm not impressed with his
assists. He's doing the facilitating.
That's why I'm not impressed with his assists. Because it's like, well, if you play point guard, bro, you average 7 assists throughout a career. That's not great. Now, if you average 10, like you average 10, 11 throughout a career, like you on some James Harden, Houston Rockets, Jason Kidd type, okay, now I give you, because that's crazy. But 7 assists and you play point guard basically, it's good, but it ain't great.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like the fact that he has to be the primary scorer, he has to be the primary facilitator. He's usually second or first on his team in rebounds, depending on like which bigs he has on him. Like obviously outside of AD and like Kevin Love, those years. But yeah, man, like that's like the all-around game. And he shoots well from 3, shoots well from 2, obviously. He's better from 2 and from 3.
He's never been a good shooter. He's never been a good shooter. LeBron's not a good shooter. He's gotten better 100% from the time he's gotten into league till now. But it's like LeBron is not a good shooter. Like when LeBron is shooting jump shots, if they're going, of course, that's any player. Where your jumper's going is going. But when LeBron is at his best, is not when he's shooting jumpers.
I agree. Like his best attribute is probably him slashing.
Open court, and off a rebound, going, putting the pressure on the defense. That's when LeBron, I feel like, is at his best. And I'm like, he's not the best at anything. Think about that. You've never been the best defender. You've never been the best scorer. You've never been the best rebounder. You've never been the best assist player. Like, at what point have LeBron ever been the best at anything?
But that's what makes him unique, because he's like a hybrid. Like, he's not like your typical Magic. He's not your typical Jordan or Kobe. He's not your typical type. He's like a facsimile of all of them, but at a top tier level, maybe not the top in those, characteristics that those guys have, but he's like just right there, and he's really good at all of those things that they can do. I think his biggest knock is his free throw shooting, but like other than that, like he can score with the best of them, he can pass with the best of them, and like 7 assists isn't a ton, but like with the types of assists he gets are insane, and he's had a few now, seasons where he's like, all right, I'm going to play point guard like for sure, and those are the years where he's giving 10 plus assists and facilitating in that manner. But yeah, like I do understand like you're not better, you're not the best at shooting, you're not the best at this. I think he's the best at slashing. There's no better slasher ever.
Derrick Rose is a better slasher. Russell Westbrook was a better slasher.
How though? Like, what are you using to equate? Is that a personal opinion? Is that like what
the fact that these dudes are half your size and they get to the bucket just as easy and play above the rim just as much as you do.
But no one finishes with contact. No one finishes with efficiency, slashing to the basket better than this dude ever. Like he's like Shaq type numbers when he's slashing to the basket.
I think Jordan was up there too. Getting to the basket, slashing, dunking on dudes. Like, he shot over 50% too.
Not at a higher efficiency than LeBron.
And it's like, I would expect somebody that's 6'9", 270 to have a higher field goal percentage. You feel me?
Well, look, you still got to do it, man. There's a lot of 6'9", 270 guys that ain't doing it.
I don't know. Too many 6'9". Who's like LeBron? Hell no. I don't know. You gotta let me know where these dudes is at, because
they're playing in the post.
That's from God.
The 6'9", 6'10", 270 dudes typically are power forwards posting up. They're not moving like this dude. Like, So yeah, I mean, a lot of it is like, God's gift of like being a freak athlete at that size. You know what I mean? But like, you still got to put it to use. And this dude is maximized the heck out of it, man.
And I just don't understand how people, again, say he dominated, and then 2010 to 2020, the Warriors have won more championships. Like,
it's been the same, but
yeah, they're the same. Yeah, they're the same. And it's like Steph might end up with more rings than LeBron.
Maybe.
What does that put him even in the conversation? And that's where this is where I also separate Jordan from LeBron. When Jordan was on his shit, it was hands down nobody else is getting off. Nobody. How many Hall of Famers in the 90s don't have a ring? Karl Malone, John Stockton, Charles Barkley, all these dudes, Clyde. Like, these dudes don't got rings because of Jordan. Every superstar that's probably going to be that came up in that time has a ring. Spurs, Kevin Durant, Steph, all these dudes that are going to be Hall of Famers all have rings, and they all won on LeBron's dominance.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think we have to look into the context of that, though.
Okay.
Like in the 90s, the Bulls had the best team. They had a couple Hall of Famers on each of those rosters. They had who we're saying is the best coach ever, probably in Phil Jackson. And they like never had any health issues. Like they literally had the same squad, re-up once they got Robin in the second three-peat. But like, man, all that stuff matters. Like, like you can't.
Even in the first three-peat, like, that wasn't great squads.
Oh man, they had Horace Grant, Pippen. Like they had a squad, bro. And they were favored in every single championship year they won. And that's the thing with LeBron. Like LeBron was favored in 2011. We've already talked about that. So
yeah.
And then 2013 they won, and then the next one was 2020 when they won. Mm-hmm. But like
that bubble bullshit.
2015, bro. Like you can't lose your second and third best player, and then it's like, oh, you can't knock him for not winning in that scenario. Like no one's winning if you lose your second and third best player when that's like the core of your offensive and defensive output,
That's true. And I feel like LeBron has also gotten the most excuses for losing finals. Oh, 2007, he didn't have a good enough squad. Well, your squad was good enough to make it to the goddamn finals. This isn't football where you could just be playing okay. That's why I hate hearing that, bro, because I feel like people that don't really fuck with basketball, if you're not a superstar, all-star, you were trash. And I'm like, Larry Hughes was not trash, bro. Go watch NBA players talk about him. He's strapped up and he could get a bucket. Mo Williams. Mo Williams was not trash. Yeah. Mo Williams, when they traded him, we went to Minnesota right before he retired. Motherfucker dropped 50.
Yeah, I know. Right?
These dudes aren't trash. They're just not. They're not your Kyries. They're not your Dwayne Wades. But they were good enough, obviously, for a whole season to get y'all a #1 record and to get you to the finals. So I'm like, and LeBron, you didn't play good in the finals. That would be different if LeBron got to the finals. Hey, bro, I averaged 30-something and we just lost. Bro, you averaged 22 points.
Yeah. But to do that as like a 22-year-old, and like, I don't think they had Mo Williams that year.
Yeah. Was doing that at 22.
Doing what?
Dropping 22 in finals.
Yeah, but like you had Shaq, man.
Which is even more impressive. The fact that he was still putting up those numbers with a dominant player like Shaq. And he was a #2 option. He was a #1 putting up that. That is trash numbers.
No, but that's the thing though, man. Like when you're the #2 and your #1 is the most dominant player probably ever, you're gonna get way better looks than you're gonna get if all of the attention is on you. And like so like outside of 2007, though, just to like jump back to to him not dominating. Like, come on, bro. Like they beat the Devs in 2016, and these dudes added the second best player in the league, bro. Like they were obviously outmatched. 2018, they had no chance after Kyrie bounced.
But they had to do that because they had a squad. People had to team up because if not, that Cavs team was gonna run. They were gonna run the market, bro.
Like they won in the final seconds of Game 7 in 2016, and they're like, "All right, we got to add the second best player in the league." Like, come on.
Even Draymond said
a great series,
and Draymond said that. Draymond was like, "We were not going to beat the Cavs without adding somebody else to that team." I feel like they figured them out already, and LeBron is really a smart player. I feel like he figured them out, what they are trying to take away from LeBron. LeBron figured that out, and it was like, it's game time. If y'all don't add some other piece, some other crazy dynamic, I'm gonna run y'all every time we meet up. And they knew that.
Well, some people say that the Warriors would have won that series if Draymond didn't get suspended that one game.
I agree.
So, like,
I agree.
I think it's kind of wishy-washy to say, oh, we needed to add another huge piece in order to even compete.
Which is another to me little stain on LeBron's record.
Oh my gosh,
bro! They lost their. So we're gonna give LeBron the pass for losing Kyrie and Kevin Love, but we're not gonna give the Warriors the pass for losing their defensive player of the year. Their best.
They lost them for one game, bro. They were up 3-1.
Pivotal game. It's a pivotal game.
They had two more opportunities to win and finish it up at home, and they couldn't do it. Like, that's if they lost them for the whole series, I would give you that. But they lost them for a single game, and they had two more games.
Losing somebody even for a single game, man, that changes the morale. That changes a lot of shit. And we all know Draymond is the dog of that team.
Oh, 100%.
Out there without your dog,
yeah,
is like the fighting y'all ain't even the same. Hey, we got some more stuff to talk about, bro. We got a whole lot more stuff to talk about. We got to take a quick break. Y'all don't go nowhere, man. Y'all go get your popcorn because we got a lot more shit to talk about. Come back with us with the Homies Podcast. We'll be back real quick, y'all. Peace. Yo, what it do, people? We are back with more of the Homies Podcast, and I got my boy Zoe here chopping it up with me on this GOAT Talk today. You feel me? And again, man, I appreciate you sliding through doing this with me.
Of course.
We're going to have to do this one more often because this conversation, I feel like, could last forever. We're going to talk about this for days and days. One of the main questions, though, I want to come back and ask you, because this is one of the things that I also feel like is another blemish on LeBron's record is how many people have gotten Finals MVP that was his man. You feel me? We got KD getting 2. We got Kawhi getting 1. And we got Iggy getting 1. So that's 4. For every damn championship you won, somebody else on the opposing team has gotten the Finals MVP. Can we talk about that? Can you bust that?
Yeah. Let's talk about it. So, I mean, the KD ones I feel like are pretty self-explanatory. Like, KD was eating, like, period. But he had such a stacked like crew around him. It was like, bro, you're basically getting whatever shot you want. Like, but I do really want to talk about the Kawhi and Iggy ones though. So I feel like, especially the Iggy one, like I feel like he got it because they couldn't give it to LeBron because they lost.
Hey!
Quick little guest appearance.
You feel me? How are you?
Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you good. You good. We love the kids here at the Homies Podcast. You feel me?
Love it.
But you said that Iggy. Yes, they gave it to Jerry West back in the day. You know what I mean? Yeah. The only loser to win a Finals MVP.
Steph probably still should have gotten that Finals MVP, but I think they gave it to Iggy out of respect to LeBron, in my opinion, man. Because LeBron averaged 36, 13, and 9, and you gave it to the guy who was guarding him. Like,
and then I can see this in Iggy's defense. Numbers can lie. If you go back and actually, you said you're the stat dude. You said you got stats and analytics. That is one of the worst shooting percentages of a superstar in a finals appearance.
Oh, for
That's
sure.
why numbers can lie, because it's like, all right, you average that, but during the important possessions and during important runs, you weren't doing that. Iggy was getting stops in important times of the game, but the stats don't show that. Yeah. And it's just like, and you held the man to like, he was shooting like 28, 29, 30% from the field. Trash.
So this kind of goes back to like, how do you want LeBron to play? Because I feel like if he would have been playing how he normally plays, we'd been like, yo, man, you need to be shooting more. Mm-hmm. He was undermanned without Kevin Love and Kyrie, and he had to try and Will, Matthew Dellavedova, and those cats. Who was the second best player on that team, bro? Like during that series, like that's. And you're going up against some dogs, man. Like,
Yeah.
and two of the top 5 probably best shooters ever. Iggy, who was still just about at the tail end of his prime. Draymond Green. So like, they had a squad, man. He had to put the team on his back. And so like, yeah,
you get a shot.
I understand the percentages being down, but then when you go to the Kawhi one, LeBron averaged what 28 and 8 and 4 on 57% from the field. So it wasn't like Kawhi was locking him. Like, how do the numbers lie there?
He was locking him again on important possessions, important runs. Go back. We can watch it. We can go back and watch it.
I watched it.
Important runs and important possessions. He was getting stops when they needed it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there were a couple possessions in each of those series. But man, like LeBron was the best player on the court, and he was efficient from 2 and from 3. So like, I don't know, man. When you shoot damn near 60%, it's hard for me to tell. It's hard for me to say, oh, you were getting locked up, and the guy guarding you should get Finals MVP. Like,
and Kawhi was doing his thing on the other end too.
He was. And like, no, I think he deserved the Finals MVP, but I don't think it's a knock on LeBron that he got it. I just think it's a misconception that like, oh, like you were getting locked in this series when I'm shooting 60% from the field and I'm shooting 50% from 3. And like, he shot 50% from 3 in the series.
And also look at those percentages when Kawhi was actually guarding him, because we know he wasn't guarding literally every possession. You know, there's switches. Yeah. And that's what people do with LeBron, which they run a lot of pick and roll, a lot of picks. We're going to Tayshaun Prince was talking about this when he was talking about the difference of guarding Kobe and guarding LeBron. And he was just like Kobe just gets to his spots. You let him get to his spots, he's going to tell you how to say it. He's like, LeBron, they're going to wear you down, bro. They're going to send pick after pick. They're going to try to wear you down. And I feel like that's what they were trying to do with Kawhi, and Kawhi just not. And again, they play immaculate team defense over there. So it's just like, and you have a very smart anchor behind you in Tim Duncan that
they had a squad, man.
They got. But LeBron had a squad too. That's the difference. That's if I got a squad and you got a squad, but you're the greatest player of all time, you should trump my squad.
I think I think all things being equal, yes. But when their number 2 was compromised, man. D-Wade was literally a shell of himself. It seemed like every time he came out of the game, it was a question mark of he was going to come back in. He couldn't move. Like that entire season, he was missing games and missing parts of games because of his knees. Like you just knew like he wasn't himself, and like the numbers kind of display it, especially for that series. I don't even think he put up 20. When the year before it was like, 28. All right, it was 1A, 1B. You know, like it was 1A, 2C, and then
Ron was like, he was on the F, G. He was down the line. Like, Chris Bosh, Dwayne, everybody was getting more buckets than you. Jason Terry outscored him in that series, bro.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Jason Terry, U of A. Shout out here in Arizona. But that should never happen. And that's what I'm saying, bro. Imagine a series where a person of a caliber like Jason Terry is outscoring a Michael Jordan. and this is my overall thing when it comes to it. I don't understand how a person that has more team success, more individual success, is not considered the GOAT. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I literally, it's like, and if we go back and even look at some of Jordan's seasons and some of the things he's done, when people say LeBron is the best all-around player, I just totally disagree. I'm like, you know why I disagree? Because we're in a new age, highlight age, where offense, and even the game, the game has also changed to where the offensive, we're trying to, that's why we're seeing the scores now 140 something to 150. It's crazy because there's more possessions. They changed the shot clock. Ball. Yeah, everybody's shooting the 3 ball. They changed the shot clock. All these things help make it easier to score. And I'm like, and Jordan played, he at a lot of times, most of the times was the best defender and best scorer on the floor. There's a lot of series where LeBron, you play center field because LeBron's really smart. It's like how Steph did a couple of years. He led the league in steals. LeBron's like that. He's like the best free safety. That's why I feel like when he was with Miami, like, you know that like cross-court skip pass that a lot of people do?
Yeah.
I can't do that shit on Miami. Like, you're not doing it. You do that shit, we throwing highlights, we throwing oops on the other game. Don't do that. It's like, because LeBron is 6'9" and he moves like a guard. Like, you just can't make that pass. But how many times have you seen LeBron pick somebody up 94 feet, turn them, lock up. Like, he doesn't do that. And I hate when people say, oh, LeBron can guard the 1 through the 5. No, he can't. I think they do the Ben Simmons shit. You have the potential to do so.
Yeah.
You have the body type, but can you name me a series or even a game where LeBron has guarded a solid 4 or 5 for the whole series or game?
No.
A 20-year career. Yeah, we but people say that all the time. Am I correct?
Yeah. I mean, like there's been moments where he switches up and he does a solid job for a few possessions here and there, but there hasn't been a series where he's like.
Imagine him trying to guard Greek Freak or Joel Embiid or Jokic or somebody like that for a whole series. He would get his ass. Now, I don't feel like he would get roasted. It would be, first of all, you would just be in foul trouble.
Yeah. I think he would guard Giannis in the series, like in his prime heyday, like
Giannis in his prime, LeBron in his prime, and he's trying to guard. He gonna be sitting on the bench with like 3 fouls in like the first, second quarter.
I don't know. And I just never seen him like guarding other positions though. Like, remember what he did to Derrick Rose after they stole that MVP from Bron and gave it to Rose. I think Rose deserved it. He had an amazing year. They had the best record, but Bron was offended by that, and he like took on the challenge in the playoffs and
if he didn't get hurt, I feel like that Bull squad was coming for that ass. D-Rose's knees weren't made of glass.
I think Bron had a mental chokehold on that Bulls team after that 2011 series. That was, or it might have been 2012. It was one of those two.
I think it was 2012. Yeah.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying about like Jordan having, you know, a lot of the individual stuff, but obviously the team stuff.
Yeah.
But like that's where like the longevity part like comes into play for me, because it's like having 19 All NBAs.
Mm-hmm.
You got 4 rings. You're still playing. They can mess around and get 5 rings. He'll have 1 less. He's going to have the most points ever. He's going to be top 5 in assists ever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you played
all this stuff
for like 20 years. It's like,
at some point,
top 5, bro. You played point guard for 20 years.
That's the thing, though, bro. He has the most points as well. So you're going to be top 5 in assists and have the most points ever.
Because you came in at 18 years old to a trash squad and you never had to go through any adversity in regards to LeBron has always had the green light. Kobe never had that. Like, Jordan, I think, did. That's why Jordan averaged 28 his rookie year. It's like, but to have a green light, most players, yo, man, you'll come in, you miss a shot, you do something horrible, sit your ass down. He's never had a coach that's had that type of cachet to be like, hey, Brian, you out here on bullshit, sit your ass down. So it's just like,
though. That's the thing. It's his game. He's not one of those guys that's just going to go out there and start chucking shots up. He's going to try and get the team. He's going to survey the land, get the team going, score when he needs to, slash, get buckets, hit open shots at times, you know? And, like, that's, like, kind of how the accumulation, like, comes up. It's not like, oh, he's out there chucking because he's on a bad squad and they can't do anything. Like, literally, they made the playoffs after 2 years, and then they were in the finals the next year after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not like he's out there, he was drafted to a bad squad and wasn't able to generate anything from a team's perspective. Like, he did have to do a lot of the carrying, though, in terms of passing and scoring. But, yeah, man, like, that stuff adds up. And to be in year 20 and you're still putting up 29, 8, and 8, like.
But even that, bro, that's where the game has changed to where it's not as that impressive to me. And I feel like basketball historians know that. Go back to 20 years ago, 2000, 2001. How many players in the NBA were averaging over 30? Probably like one. I think AI was maybe the only one. Shaq never averaged over 30. Look at this year. How many players in the league are averaging over 30? Probably like 7 or 8.
Yeah,
It's crazy because the scoring is becoming easier. It's more of a cardio game.
But, like, see, this, and that's where, like, I think, like, the rule changes don't really give the full context on how, like, yes, people are shooting more threes, so obviously, like, scoring is going to be up from a team perspective and from some individual players, especially if you shoot a lot of them.
Right.
But when you look at the rules, like, back in the 90s, for example, like, you couldn't help side D. Like, right now, like, yes, there's more space now, but now you can hedge. You can play in between your man. Like, back when MJ was playing, it was either you commit to a full double team or it was illegal defense. You couldn't help. So a lot of those possessions were one-on-one. And when they did fully commit to the double team, that's when you see those guys hitting those big shots. You know, and they're open. Whereas now it's like, all right, I got my man beat. I got 2 guys coming at me. I still got to try and score. Or if I pass it, then I'm looked at a certain type of way. So I feel like there's like a difference. Yes, there are different rules, but I don't think that there's one that benefits an individual player more than another. It just kind of depends on your game. Like, if you're a Kobe or an MJ where you only got one guy that's guarding me, he's going to eat you alive the whole time. Whereas a guy like LeBron, he doesn't really have a bag per se. He going to blow by you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to come off the screen and go downhill. And, like, that's kind of his thing. So if you can collapse with a bunch of defenders there, that's when it creates those moments where you have to kick it out, opposed to you taking your guy one-on-one and getting to your spot and getting the bucket. You know what I mean? So I think it's just like a difference in philosophy and difference of game type as well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's like, yes, he definitely Jordan got more one-on-one coverages, but he ate them shits every time. He got one. And I'm like, and with LeBron, it's just like, yes, even that. How many people know that the year after LeBron was drafted, they got rid of the handshake rule? Tell me for LeBron's game, that does not help him in particular. Imagine now if people could put their hand, move, do that. Again, not saying that people could just lock LeBron up still. Hell no.
Yeah.
But that makes a significant difference on how we can guard this man. Now he getting to the cup now. Now it's like, I got to have the best footwork ever to be able to slide with this dude. So I'm like, and I feel like that was on purpose. I feel like they changed that rule because they knew LeBron is the guy. He's going to be the future of our NBA. Like, he is. Like, you're getting $90 million, bro, from Nike before you even dribble a basketball in the NBA. And as we go back and look at, like, those interviews with some of his teammates, like Darius Miles and shit, they weren't fucking with LeBron. They weren't fucking with LeBron. But at the same time, LeBron came in there, he did his thing. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, bro, they changed rules. And I feel like you were one of the main reasons why they changed that rule, because it makes it harder to guard you now.
Yeah, but there's also another side to that coin, though. Think if you got a 6'9", 270 guy who's faster and stronger than anyone that plays his position able to use that defensive style as well. He would have been clamping if he was able to move you with his arms as well. Like, you know what I mean? So like he lost out on that as well from a defensive perspective, where you don't get to do that anymore. Although they don't get to do that on him, but I don't know, man. It's one of those things where it's like, yes, it's different, but
yeah, like I said, man, Jordan to me was a freak, and I'm from North Carolina, which is crazy. My cousin D went to high school with Jordan, and they played baseball together. So my dad has met him. I've never met him. My dad was like, he's an asshole, like everybody else has said. And I'll tell, and I feel like that's another thing that people add into the realm when they're talking basketball, which I'm glad you didn't do today, and I super appreciate you about that. When people start talking about the personality and the business, I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck about none of that.
yeah,
Like, I care about how do you play on that 94 feet of hardwood. I think Kobe was an asshole. I think Jordan was an asshole. But were they nice at their games? Were they savants at their games? Yes. And I'd much rather go in the trenches with those dudes than go with LeBron. It's just like they just had this different type of it factor that LeBron, it's like the thing that Kobe and Jordan just had, LeBron had to learn how to do. If that makes sense? Like, yeah. It's like you had to learn how to become a killer. These dudes were just born that way. Like, and I'm like, yeah, and Jordan, what he did, again, there's only 4 teams in NBA history to ever three-peat, and Jordan's 2 of them motherfuckers. Yeah. He had the best record to win a championship. The Warriors did, but they lost. It's like, so I'm just like, defensive player of the year, like, you won a scoring title and defensive player of the year. That sounds like an all-around player. And again, the defensive side never gets talked about. You feel me? Like when they talk about best all-around, how often do you hear people talk about defense? It's like, defense is 50% of the game, bro. That's why basketball is such a dope, like basketball, soccer, hockey. Those sports to me are really dope because you got to be good on both sides.
Play both sides, yeah.
That's why, like, I will never consider Steph like the great. Steph can win 4 more rings. He will never be considered the greatest to me, just because you're a liability.
Such a liability.
Yeah, you're a liability on the other side of the floor, bro. Like, you just are. Like, you're great offensively, but you ain't clamping shit. Like, and also too, even with that squad, when people talk about like, if you go person for person, it's like. Even that Cavs squad against the Warriors, I'm like, Golden's like the Cavs player for player, nigga. We could, if you say LeBron, let's say LeBron, KD, they wipe each other out. Let's say that. I would say Kyrie and Steph bump each other out. Okay. And if I'm being real, I like Kyrie's game more than I like Steph's. I think Kyrie is more clutch than Steph is.
No, that's like a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then when we talking about Clay, Draymond, is like, Clay to me is trash. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it now. Clay, you're a great shooter, and that's where it stops.
Well, he used to be a good defender. Best on-ball defender, too, before the
yes. Before the
said that's 50% of the game, man.
Yeah, before the injuries, he was. Now or lately, nah. He's not. And also,
but that was before the injuries, though. When he played against Brown, so like,
I'm saying now it's like you're a great shooter, bro. But anytime Klay Thompson dribbles the ball more than 2 times, I get nervous. Like, bro, get that shit up, bro. Like, but if this catch, my feet are set, and I'm pulling up. Oh, I'll give it to him before most dudes in the league.
Yeah.
But if I got to dribble, you got to create your – and that's why I feel like they struggle even. That's why I even feel like they've been struggling in this series because Klay cannot create his own shots. Steph and Jordan Poole are the only 2 people on that squad that can create their own buckets. Yeah. And maybe Wiggins a little bit, but that's more of his length. You know what I mean? Like, in his athleticism. But, yeah, Klay is not him to me. Like, even Draymond talks a lot of shit, the Draymond, if you were on another squad, you would not be a Hall of Famer, bro. He's one of those players, like, you're a Hall of Famer because of the team you play on, not because of how good you actually really are. Not saying Draymond ain't good and he's not an asset, but if you were playing on Portland, we wouldn't be talking about you, bro. You know what I mean?
He fits perfectly, like, to bring the attitude and to be a big guy that can facilitate, and you have two of the best shooters ever on your squad. Like, that's like a perfect prime scenario for his, like, archetype of player. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, you put me out there with Stephen Clay, bro. I believe in the game 8-9 assists every game, bro. Pull that. Knock it down. Like, so, and I'm like, and also, too, with LeBron, another big knock I've always had is the help. Your help has been crazy. The help, you had AD, which when we won, he was and still now is our best player. It has been.
The thing about no. The thing about AD is consistency. That's what you don't get from AD.
This is true.
The reason why AD averages 25 points a game is because he'll have a game where he drops 40, and then the next game he'll go out there and drop 12 on 10 shot attempts. And I'm like, bro, like, where's the consistency at, man? Like, at least get shots up, man. He, like, just completely erases himself. Yeah. But
I don't like his
that year they won, though. He was something else.
If we win a championship, it's not because of LeBron. Just like in 2020, that championship has shit to do with LeBron. It's AD. If we're gonna win a ring, even this year, AD has to be our best player because AD affects both sides of the ball, and LeBron does not. He is our rim protector. Like, even the year when we won, AD led the team in points, defensive efficiency, rebounds, block shots. LeBron led the team in assists. It's like,
but the points were close, though.
Huh?
Like, I said the points were close. Like, you need LeBron to be excellent, but that's like a given. So that's why AD needs to be the better player in the series if you guys are going to win, because you already know what you're going to get from LeBron, which is like, that just speaks to the level of greatness that he is, where you just know he gonna come out there and he's gonna give you at least 25, 8, and 8 in the final series, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what's the number 2 gonna do? Right? And there's enough, and AD.
And when your number 2 is a top 75 player all time, you're probably gonna do some shit.
I know. And they won.
Like Kyrie, like, even the level of help, Jordan has never had the level of help. Kobe and Jordan both have not had the level of help that LeBron has had, and they've won more. And they've won in a shorter period of time.
So I think about it in terms of, like, consistency. Like, MJ had a couple of Hall of Famers on his squads on both three-peats. Kobe had Shaq. And this is, like, throughout a time frame, whereas LeBron is, yes, he's had some talented players, but a lot of these are, like, new situations where someone's coming in. You don't have that, you know what I'm saying? You don't have that connection of playing with the same players, all staying healthy, all being dominant, all knowing their roles. These are all, like, new situations. Yeah, they were good players individually that, ended up joining up with LeBron, but, like, I don't compare that, like, I don't compare that the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Jordan's Hall of Famers were made by Jordan. That's the difference. All these other dudes were going to be Hall of Famers of whether they played with LeBron or not. Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, these dudes were going to be Hall of Famers whether they played with you or not, just off their numbers. You feel me? Just off of their numbers, individual awards. It's like, now the championship stamps that. We all know. You get that championship, that puts you to the front of the line. That's the Disney front of the line pass. You go to the front, but at the same time, I'm like, bro, Kyrie was a Hall of Famer if he played with you. Dwayne Wade, which is another knock. Dwayne Wade was in the same draft class as you, bro. also went to a franchise that did not have a ring. Won a ring before you, and you had to go to his team to learn how to win rings.
Yeah.
It's trash, bro.
He had Shaq, man. He had D-Wade. I mean, D-Wade was the guy.
Old
Shaq, bro. He was. Come on, man. Shaq was amazing in that series.
We seen Shaq in L.A. and we seen Shaq.
He wasn't 2001, 2002 Shaq.
Yeah,
but it was 2006. Like it was a few years later. He was still a beast, bro.
What did he average in the finals?
Who, Shaq?
Yeah.
It was probably like 15 and 10 or something like that.
15. He averaged like 15 and like 8 or 9. Come on, bro.
He's still a presence. I mean, no. D-Wade, like put the team on his back, bro. Like I'm keeping it 100 there for sure.
Yeah, no other help. Like I said, everybody like LeBron's never done that. That's why I respect Dwayne Wade's game more than I do LeBron's, in the sense of I saw you put a team, you were down in the series, put a team on your back, no other big major help, and you were fucking killing.
Yeah.
I've never seen LeBron do that. Even in the 3-1 comeback. It's like Kyrie averaged damn near 30. Even that game too, bro. This is, again, another thing where I tell people numbers can lie. Game 5, where Kyrie Irving averaged, he got 41 points, right? LeBron ended that game with 41 points too, right? But if you go back and watch the game, whose 41 was more important?
It's all important. Like, that's the thing, man. Like,
certain buckets and certain points in the game are more important.
But that's the thing, though. You're not even in the game if LeBron's 41. Whether it's early, whether it's mid-game, if Kyrie's cooking late, that's great. But
during the important runs, when they needed to stop, when they needed a run buster, when they needed a game winner, Kyrie Irving, and Kyrie shot like 70% from the goddamn field that game. He didn't miss. Yeah.
No, it was game five, Kyrie was a monster.
It was a monster, bro. He couldn't be stopped, bro. And I'm like, that how Kyrie played like that is what I want LeBron to do a lot of times. Hey, everybody knows I'm the best. Let me show y'all. Here, move. Let me And it's like, you ain't got to do that all the time, because Jordan didn't do that all the time. Kobe, Game 7 against Boston, was out there on butt cheek time. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for Ron Artest, we probably lose that. Same thing with Steve Kerr and Paxson knocking down shots. So it's like your needed teammates, but at the same time, it's the level of what you need your teammates to do for you to win. You need a motherfucker to average 30 plus. Pippen ain't never averaged. Pippen has never had 41 in a playoff series or a playoff game in his career.
I mean, when has what teammate did LeBron need to average 30 plus?
I'm talking about Kyrie. Kyrie averaged like 29 or something in that final series. Like
LeBron led both teams.
Led
both teams in points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks.
And he lost.
No, they won. They won.
Oh, you're talking about the 3-1 comeback. Yeah, they won. Yeah.
Every single stat, bro. Like, yes, Kyrie was huge, man, but like, come on, man. Like, that series was bronze, bro. Like,
I give him that. He had to give up for Cleveland. I give him that. Bro, we had to get up out of here, man, because the time run out and everything. But we got to do this again, man. I want to get more people too to add into this, bro. We got to do this, and also, people, we trying to put something in the works to start doing a hoop segment. I want to know if Zoe down, and I'm gonna ask you now on camera, so I'll put you on the spot. Is that something you plan on wanting to do with your boys? I need a weekly thing to keep people updated on these hoops, bro. And also, before we get out of here today, again, I want to say thank you, bro, for doing this with me. And also, too, who wins today? And does LeBron go crazy?
Lakers win for sure. I think he's gonna try and get AD to go nuts. Because I think AD shot 4 for 14 last game.
Yeah, he was on butt cheek time.
Like, I think he's going to try and get him going, and if AD doesn't get it going, then LeBron going to give you 30 to 40. I don't think he's going to try and race after Dylan Brooks' 40 that he was asking for. But
I would love for him to kill Dylan Brooks and for us to get the win. That would make me happy. But I don't think LeBron's going to do it. I just don't. You would never, and again, players would never say no shit like that to Kobe or Jordan.
Okay, but those are shooting guards. You want LeBron to be a shooting guard to go out there and just get them up. That's not his game.
You got the green light, bro. Fuck what position you play. You got the green light, bro. You can shoot 50 shots, bro. You ain't going to the bench, bro. Shoot them motherfuckers, bro. All right, bro. Let me get up out of here, man. And again, man, subscribe to the Homies Podcast, man. If you haven't, go tell a friend. Go tell a local crackhead. Go tell everybody. Go tune into the Homies Podcast. We'll see you again here next week, bro. I love y'all. Thank you again, Pimp. Peace.